Back again for the third matchup between Nova and Rangers, and this one is a Viking Civ War, so very similar to the Inca Civ War between these two, with the addition of potential cavalry making an appearance. As with the last two games, Nova seemed to struggle with gold collection from the market. The first game being a Saracens War, you witnessed Rangers being the aggressor, and the second with Nova being the aggressor. For this game, it looks like it's going to be a mixture of two, with Nova being the quicker one, as he does have 8 onagers. However, the past 2 games, Nova has also had issues with gold collection. I'm not sure entirely what it was for the Saracens game. For the Incas game, I can tell you that Nova was not making slingers at all. He did not have a single archery range. And unfortunately for him, Rangers was massing slingers, which actually counter Inca's infantry, which is all that you can basically make with Incas, with the addition of siege. For this one, Nova is playing Vikings similar to Celts. A lot of onagers and scorpion production going on. Over here on blue side, or Rangers, we do have champions being made. He has stables, so he is looking to counter the siege. Market production from Nova, we have him at 19. As far as Rangers goes, he is at 11. Early farming going on from Rangers, because he looks like he will be making infantry. As far as pop goes, Nova is ahead 118 to Rangers 98. Villager pop, that is. Or is that villager pop? No, that's population. Okay. I'm so confused with reading these numbers sometimes. It's like a lot of numbers. All right, Arbalest and Cavaliers, champions, onagers coming from Rangers. Over here on Nova, we have Berserks, or Berserkers, however you want to call them, Berserks, onagers, and Scorpions. So an interesting choice of unit production from the two. You saw all of Nova's onagers fire at the same time. That's because what he typically will do is target the ground. Like I said, Nova is probably the best player when it comes to microing his onagers. He's very good at it. I have nothing bad to say about Nova. Rangers, I'm still learning about, but his micro is very good. Army of Cavaliers and Arbalest from Rangers. Some small siege in there. And more farms coming in from Rangers. Nova's side of the board, we have no farms whatsoever. Looks like he is going to take the siege route. But he is very, very low on wood and food. And you compare that to Rangers. Rangers has, as it stands, the superior economy overall. Some advancement coming from Nova. 2 Trebs already on the front lines. Another one being produced. Idle trade carts. I don't believe he has his gathering points set. So although Nova does have a lot of markets placed down for production, there's nothing going on over there. Still very weak economy from Nova when you compare that to Rangers this game. Cavaliers directly into Nova's siege, with Berserks there to help defend them, but you have the Army of Arbalest. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Arbalester You have arbalesters, whatever, archers. I'm just gonna call them archers because that's what they are. Rangers, archers are there to stop all the berserks coming in. Now you have a siege fight in the middle. Cavalier is pushing up to target onagers, I would think. Yep. No trebs, though, from Rangers, so he can't make a push yet with the 3 castles of Nova on the front line. 4 castles. 4 trebs getting ready to pounce on Rangers. Onagers, yeah. Yep. 2 down. So you're very smart not to push whenever Nova's castles are right there. You want to pull back and wait for your trebs and force Nova out of his base, and then you collapse on his army. Eight trebs from Rangers, 4 trebs from Nova. And for the first time, we look at the gold and you see that Rangers is down and Nova's is up, but his food is not where it needs to be. And now we have Rangers buying gold. Or selling for gold, however you want to call it. We jump back to Ranger's base. He has increased his market production, trade cart production, and wood gathering. You jump back to Nova's. He is still not where he needs to be with food, but his gold is holding at least. I think what Nova is doing, he is just trying to counter Ranger's army, but it's not working. He needs to make Cavaliers. So with the Saracens game, Nova played too defensively. With the Incas game, Nova was not making slingers, which was the difference maker. With this game, it looks to be a lack of cavalry coming from Nova. And the arbalesters or the archers also from Rangers is a huge factor as well. I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love the soundtrack of this game. And it's not even from the definitive edition. This is from Age of Kings. I'm actually playing a video on YouTube. It is truly relaxing listening to it. Cavaliers are going to beat the Berserks 100% of the time, and with the archers behind them, it's just pointless. It's a pointless fight. And the benefit to making Cavaliers too is that Rangers is going to constantly send them into Nova's onagers, so they will die eventually. And with the wood amount that Rangers has, he can keep producing archers and siege at no loss. And he has a lot more food as well, with 57 farmers to continue supplying him. Forward stables and archery ranges coming from Rangers, as well as the castle to hold that area. Nova with siege workshops and castles as well. You could see the huge difference in the armies, in the army type. Nova is starting to advance with a full Viking siege army with berserks pushing. Rangers will contain them though with the arbs or the archers. Gonna bounce back around here. Clear trade route from Rangers with some idle trade cards though. And things are also looking good over here on Nova's side. Nothing stopping the trade cards. Although the houses right here could have an issue later on, depending on how many trade cards he bumps up to. Back on the middle of the fight, you see that Rangers is now making light cavalry. Light cavalry, archers, and a lot of onagers from Rangers versus a group of scorpions from Nova and onagers spread out all over. But he's also microing his trebs as well. But this game looks to be an even field so far. It's even game so far. Nova's starting to advance, but the light cavalry is going to keep him contained. It's going to make it difficult for him to push. The cavalry in general is going to make it difficult for Nova to push. Berserk's pushing forward, but the Arbs are going to cut them down. See what I mean right here? All these light cavalry just keep destroying the onagers. What he's doing is, what Rangers is doing is he has this gathering point directly in the middle of the onagers, so they're just running to it and then they are attacking once they get there. I see a lot of players actually do that. Come to think of it, it completely messes up your unit pathing and it forces them to target on them even when you don't want them to sometimes. Rams coming into play from Nova. He is really playing Vikings like they're Celts. Or Celts, however you pronounce it. And Rangers massing infantry and cavalry to stop the Rams. Now Rangers is finally up ahead on score by 1,000. You learn a lot by watching the fight go on. How people place their military units, their gathering points, what they're microing, what they're making. Watching unit matches or matchups. You know, like Cavaliers versus Berserks. Things of that nature. And I have watched a lot of recorded games throughout my history of playing this game. It is the only thing that has helped me improve, to be honest. You get an idea how people play, and you try to take what you've witnessed and you try to copy it. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, then you get back to you head back to the drawing board and try something different. Yeah. Just something to take into consideration whenever you watch recorder games. You try to pay attention to the fights, the battles, what people are doing, their gathering points, how they are placing their units, their archers, if they're on stand ground, if their units are on defense, if they're attack move, or if they're just patrolling. Rangers is making another opening over here. He is getting pressed in the middle, so what he is doing here, he's opening up to raid Nova's base. More specifically, his farms. Looks like he's going to build a forward castle right in here, which could potentially slow Nova's push because he's going to have to send units over there, which might end up benefiting Rangers. And Rangers is already in Nova's trade with 2 Cavaliers, and it looks like they died. Yeah, they're dead. But he is building a castle here, and it's up. That's going to help him with raids. If it stays up, that is. Rangers needs to target the trebs. And more building production coming from Rangers. right in this sector right here. Don't lose your trebs, Rangers. You lost one. Nova, get your army in the fight. Gun him. Punch him. Nice raid, by the way, from Rangers to actually get this in and pull this through. Or pull through with it. As you see what happened, it took the focus off of the main fight. So now Nova has to worry about two advances. One from the side with a castle and another castle about to be put up. And now his middle being pressed. So where Nova was in a good situation, it seems now that the tables have turned. Because you now have an army of champions and cavaliers, which both counter berserks. And archers and onagers. And Nova is still playing Vikings like they are Celts over here with berserks in the middle. Nova has put up a wall right here, but it's still open. So. Oh yeah, it's still open. Rangers is now up by, we'll say, around 4,000 score. Look at the KD, both players are still pretty even almost. Nova with 2,070 kills, Rangers with 1,962 kills. It's like Nova's gonna push this little side raid back. So he prevented that from happening. That's good that he walled that off and now he's focusing there. But unfortunately it's taking army away from the middle. With Nova still playing Vikings like Celts, you look at the economy. Nova is at 3,000 wood, 500 food, 2,000 gold. Compare that to Rangers, who is at 14,000 wood, 3,000 food, and 1,000 gold. But the wood is crucial in these Michi games. So, all of Rangers' buildings are now down. Hopefully Nova can get back to focusing on the middle and stop this push. Another castle down. Nova's losing ground. And Rangers does have a lot of trebs coming into play. Still something going on over here. Oh, Rangers stable. Nova's closing the gap. 4,000 score below Rangers. But you compare the maps, like Rangers is taking up so much space over here on his side of the map. All you gotta do, Rangers, is send your Cavaliers into Nova's trade. Literally, that's all you gotta do. And Nova, if he was to cut around here, he can hit the trade as well. That's 151 trade cards from Ranger and 139 trade cards from Nova. You do damage to the trade cards, more than likely you're gonna win the game. Yeah. Nice to see Nova is finally making Cavaliers. He's got 11 stables. But Rangers has 19 stables also, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the front line. And he's still forward building as we speak. As I speak. But another castle's gonna fall. Gonna box in this whole area, and you look at the power. I'm not sure. I always kind of figured this bar right, these two bars right here on the bottom left, they were a symbol of the group's power or strength of the groups. At least that's how I judge it. But if we're doing that, then clearly you can see the difference. Rangers is winning this one, it looks like. Rangers is hitting the wood. Well, not the wood, but he is doing some raiding. But yeah, this game's over as well. It's a GG. Rangers wins it. Another castle has fallen. So yeah, I definitely tip my hat to Rangers. I think the throne is now up for the taking, and I believe that Rangers has taken that throne in terms of deathmatch Michi, and in terms of like 1v1 status. You really don't see Nova lose like this. Could also just be a bad night for Nova. Still continuing his trap production. Rangers is going to literally destroy everything in his path. Nova's still sticking with Berserk, Scorpions, Onagers, and Cavaliers, whereas Rangers is doing the same thing with Champions in a mix to counter Berserk. See what he's doing? He is creating the counter to whatever his enemy is making. But Nova played Vikings like Celts this game, and I believe that's what screwed him over. Trap micro coming from Rangers targeting Nova's Onagers. And Rangers is sending his gathering points directly into the trade. So you hit Nova's trade, it's kind of over. That'll free up some pop space, but if Nova can't make any gold army, he's screwed. Seriously, that's where all of his Cavaliers are going right now. And he has a group of Arbs in the trade. I didn't even see that until now. Oh yeah, 66 Cavaliers and 10 Arbs in the trade. So now that means Nova has to pull back whatever he can to go over here and fight. And he deleted his Marcus to save his trade cards, which is incredibly smart. But now he's not getting no gold. And that's bad. Nova stands at less than 50 food, 288 gold versus Rangers 4,000 food and 13,000 gold. Trade carts still idle in the back right here. Yeah, this game's over. It is 100% over. It's GG. Thank you guys for tuning in to the third game in this series. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.